glad you're here. And we're going to talk about the project that we've been working on now for 3 months. This is the end of it. And you can go back if you want and look at the recordings since January and enjoy our conversation today. What we did was we all picked a project, something that we wanted to change in our lives. And then we've studied the powers that we have, that we all have, that are what allow us to make changes. And we've, meditated on them and used them. And everybody who's been doing it has really, learned a lot. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today for the most part. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's really been wonderful. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out, maybe I should ask you guys. There's two.
Sorry.
There's two topics that I am considering starting in April to do for the following 3 months. One of them is the whole idea of prosperity, which means really figuring out, learning, experiencing the amazing potential that our lives, include. Hi, Sabrina. And, becoming much more aware of that. Another one is, it's based on a book called The Eye of the Storm. And I don't know, have any of you ever experienced a, tornado storm, like a cyclone or a hurricane or a typhoon, a big storm that's based on circulating air? In the middle of that, there's a space that is totally calm. Yeah. I've experienced it once in my life, and the storm was just, it had brought a flood. There were houses floating up the river. The trees were bending over to the ground, and all of a sudden, it was like the most beautiful day that I've ever experienced it. It was calm. The sun was out. It was beautiful. I was out during this storm because our house had been flooded. And it was the most amazing time. And I figured out, this is the eye. That means that it's going to go back to being a big storm. And the eye took about half an hour to pass over us. And then the wind started up again. And the trees were now bending down all over again. And, things were being uprooted. But the eye of the storm was the most amazing period of calm. And the eye of the storm idea is that life sometimes feels a bit like a storm, but we all have the possibility of finding the calm and staying in it by the choices we make and by how we understand our opportunities. So those are the two books the two subjects that I'm considering. I got to make a decision like today, because I have to submit the titles and the descriptions to Sabrina. So, do you have a choice? What do you guys think? Hi, Asmo.
Yeah, they both sound good to me. I mean, prosperity, finding it, keeping it, defining what it is would be very helpful.
Okay.
And sort of what we've been talking about last week and this week, the being in the flow, is that calm
Yes.
part.
Right.
So that would be a continuation of where we are. So either of them would be very interesting from my point of view.
So I get to, from as far as you're concerned, I can pick one title out of a box and go with that one. Okay. Anyone else?
If I may have a suggestion, Rosemary, make it easier for me and for the others. Pick the one that I can download the PDF of it so that I can share it with you on the website.
Right. Well, I mean, I can actually do one of them as a book study.
Okay. All right.
And that would be the prosperity one. I've got the book, the ancient book from 85 years ago, called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Napoleon Hill, yeah.
So I can actually do that with the prosperity with that, and do the Eye of the Storm also.
Okay.
About Brian? Excuse me, do you have an opinion?
Prosperity.
Prosperity?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I think one way to achieve that is by serving others.
You're so right. Absolutely. You get a gold star. Yes. Karen, how about you?
Oh, I was just considering both. I've never had a course in prosperity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you would think, but no, I haven't. The Eye of the Storm, I know a little bit about, but I'm thinking, hey, it's springtime. Do I really want to?
Okay, so our theme for April on Living Peace Now is new beginnings. So, okay, I'll do a course on prosperity. Sounds like, Duwadi, do you have a sense about that?
About the experience, I angered my friend, my colleague, who said that's the serving others, because I read about some books. I attend some conference. I am interested by this kind of topic, like for example about self-improvement. But I thought it's kind of happiness. But the happiness for me, I thought that's the happiness is to help people, serving people, be in service of the other people. Yeah, to make people happy. That's what is kind of prosperity for me. To involve of helping other people and make them happy. That's why this kind of yeah.
Right. It's also about how to manage our perceptions and our thinking. So, in other words, what are we aware of around us? What have we always thought about our worthiness to live a happy life? Freedom is prosperity. I mean, it's a lot. Money is an expression of it, but it's so much more than that. It's really freedom, and it's always possible. So, okay, there is a class I can actually offer for that, and I'll be happy to. Asma, how about you? Asma? I guess she got called away. Oh, yeah, okay. She says she's at a noisy place. So in the chat, just say, would you be interested in really digging into learning about prosperity? And again, we'll make it a project and then use what we're learning to, to achieve that goal. Does that sound like something you would enjoy working with? Okay, way to go. Okay, thank you all. So I think next week is April already, right?
Mhm.
So we're going to be making a new beginning and starting to create greater prosperity in whatever way will make our lives, each of our lives, feel better, be more enjoyable. Okay? Okay, so let's go back and finish off this subject of the 12 powers. So I asked you last time, how have you changed? Those of you that have followed this class and really been a part of it for 3 months. Do you feel any different because of it? How has it helped you to change your awareness, your energy, your experience? Kind of sum it up for us, if you would.
Can I start?
Yeah, Lisa.
Okay.
What, Sabrina?
No, I invited Lisa to start and I will go after her.
Okay,
Thank you.
good. Okay,
And I'll be
Thank-
next.
okay.
Thank you. I actually wrote down things because I was scattered, and writing down helps me coordinate what I'm trying to say. So I started with the question of being in the flow, because that's what I've actually gotten from all of this, is to be in the flow. It's wonderful and freeing, but there's still many things, and I put that in quotation marks, things, thoughts that block my flow, such as hurt feelings, illness, stress, pressure to get things done on somebody else's schedule. So the things that I've learned that are helping me are meditation and techniques of mindfulness, journaling, and keeping a daybook planner that I was talking to Rosemary about earlier. They help me get back in the flow. But most importantly, choosing what to allow to divert my attention, and how the diversions can become part of the flow instead of disrupting it. How to interact with and relate to others while being true to myself. Ways to manage what would previously have been blockages. I've gotten that from learning the powers. Learning to let go of ingrained expectations. To be happy in the moment. To observe my feelings without judgment. And all of these things are helping me to stay in the flow of using my powers to become the best me that I can be.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Becoming the best me, the best self that is in us. And of course, the more we learn, the better our best self becomes and the better it feels.
Right.
So there was one there, Lisa, that I kind of would like to ask you to say a little bit more about, because it's really a wonderful idea. And that is you said how to integrate the distractions into the flow of your life.
Right.
So that they were no longer distractions.
Right. So they just become part of the flow instead of jamming.
Yeah, that's a wonderful thing.
So,
could you give us an example?
For example, I'm in the process of discussing with my brother my mother's estate because she died in January.
Right.
And that was really stymieing me because it's very hard, long distance. He's 800 miles away from me.
Mhm.
So it's very difficult to talk on the phone and feel and understand his feelings besides just his words.
Right. So the fact that you need to understand his feelings, that is a huge leap.
Right. So I told him we needed to talk. And as we talked, we needed to say what each of us needed to say and not take anything personally, just to hear it out. And we did that this week. And after we did that, things have gone so much more smoothly because I understand that he's frustrated by things besides just my mother's estate. But in his voice, I could hear the frustration. I just didn't know where it was coming from. I thought it might be with me.
Right.
So that allowed, it's still a diversion, but it fits in with the flow instead of disrupting it to the point that I can't get back.
Wonderful.
So that's one example. There are a lot more, but that's the most immediate and easiest to explain.
Awesome. Yeah. Wow.
So I think I learned to say, okay, let's set the ground rule that we're not going to take things personally. We're just going to.
You've done that a couple of times this month, haven't you? Or in these last couple of months.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
Yes.
So I need to just, whenever I'm in conflict, directly say to the person, okay, stop. This is getting too big feeling. So let's just express ourselves and then decide what we can do about it instead of back and forth.
Awesome.
So it's a great technique. And
so
I got that from the book and from listening to our conversations in here. So
wonderful. So you've really gotten a much greater sense of how you are powerful.
Yes, and I feel it. I don't feel put upon.
That is enormous.
Yeah, and I think I always had the powers, obviously.
Yeah.
But I just didn't feel confident in stepping out and saying, hey, wait a minute. That's not how I'm seeing things. Let's back up and talk to each other for real.
Right. Wow.
So
I am so impressed.
Yeah. Well, thank you. but thank you for sharing all the book and the discussions. It's all been great. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've internalized it.
So it went from being a dream to becoming a reality as you applied the different powers.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
And the book is amazing and in depth and has all kinds of case studies, I would call them, but really they're just anecdotes.
Examples.
Yeah.
And that is how we learn.
And some of them don't fit me and some of them do fit me. Exactly. But they're all interesting and they all illustrate the points of why to reclaim your power.
Yeah, exactly. And that makes such a difference when we become aware that, yes, we have power and we can use it positively.
Right. Not to have power over someone, but to have
Right.
power with others.
Right,
So,
exactly. Woo, woohoo.
yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
So
Okay.
interesting.
Yes,
Thank you.
exactly.
She
Okay.
know how to she got a good experience to overcome the bad situation. That's what I understand from this. Yeah,
Yeah.
she passed the difficult situation and she know how to overcome it, and that's the
Yes,
most important things.
yes,
Yeah,
exactly. And these classes in
yeah,
metaphysics, that's what I'm aiming for is, okay, there are laws that by which everything works. And when we begin to understand them, we
yeah.
know where our power is, and we become powerful in creating the life that we want along with other people.
But
That's
I
really,
I guess that the critical point is when how to uh, uh, how to start to use our powerful and how to be aware of the infinite power within ourselves and
yes,
to use it to change from bad situation to the better one.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
Right.
that's why we yeah.
Yep. So that's what all of these classes are about, really. It's just focusing in different areas. But
Yeah, but how the question which what we want to ask it, but how to use that, how to do that.
that is right.
But
Yes.
how to do that? Everybody with us, sometimes we feel that, like for example, the life is like, for example, like a rhythm of music, up and down.
Right.
Sometimes
Yep.
it's up, sometimes it's down. But how, for example, to manage, for example, our emotion,
Yep.
ourselves, to use our powerful within ourselves, our the power to
Yep.
overcome the situation.
Right.
Yeah,
And how we can learn, gain the skills and the awareness to become in any situation, to become the eye of the storm, to become the peacemaker, to help others to learn that peace really is, that's the way that life is becomes more and more satisfying.
yeah. But what I think, for example, what I feel sometimes, it's easy for me, for example, to help other people to help people, for example, to overcome their situation. But for me, it's difficult to help myself and to use my power to overcome my bad situation. My
You're
bad situation.
right. Yep. And we all feel that.
Yeah. No, for example, like sometimes for me, I feel sometimes I feel like a leak of confidence. I'm not confident to do that. I am very shy to for example, like for in this session, I am wonder of myself how I am able not to speak to speak with you in the first session. But sometimes I'm feel like some like for example like I feel like shy, like I
Yeah.
can't speak, I afraid. But for example, yeah, that's why I want to, for example, to learn how to overcome those for me, not for other. If
Right.
I succeed, if I
Right.
succeed to change
Yes.
my
Right.
problem with myself, I will be able to 100% to change all 1,000 of people, many thousands of people.
We can't change anybody else.
Yes, like the Marine said. Yeah,
We can only change ourselves. But when we change ourselves, we change the situation for everybody else.
yeah,
And everybody has in them the same feelings, the same desires, and the same powers that we have.
like the
And
Marine said. Sorry, like the Marine says, you cannot win the war against the world if you cannot win the world against your own you can your own yourselves, your
right,
own mind.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. By
And
self-discipline.
everybody else who's in your life, when you
Yeah,
change, they have to deal
yeah,
with it.
yeah,
And then they change.
yeah. I
Yep.
have several things that what I need to change it within myself. But by the way, I hope it will be changed. By the way, I hope
Right.
so. There
Yes.
is several things,
Well,
several things.
I can tell you for sure that
Yeah,
if you decide to really become a part of one of these classes and, do it every week and do the homework, which is working on your change in your life, at the
yeah.
end of the class, you will have learned important things and you will have made changes for yourself.
That's great.
Yep.
I would,
So,
I would, I would be pleasured. I would be pleasured, sure, because I would be pleasured.
so
Yeah,
it's all a
really.
question of, what we do, what we commit ourselves to, we get the benefits. And when we don't commit ourselves, we don't get the benefits. It's very basic, it's very simple.
For sure.
So I hope to see you. I hope to get to really know you in future
Yeah,
classes.
yeah.
Okay,
I hope so. I
I'm going to
hope
let
so.
Sabrina talk now because she was next.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sabrina,
yes.
thank you, Dawudi, for your ideas and your sharing.
Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome. It's a pleasure.
Okay, Sabrina, your turn.
Well, thank you for giving me space and time to express my ideas also. So what I wanted to highlight and bring you to understand about what I learned from this course is all what we have been learning is something that was helpful to me, but two powers I needed to work on, and I found myself in urge need to understand, identify in order to cover, as we all do, some blockages from the past. That was imagination and understanding.
Oh,
And
interesting.
yes, yes. So to be honest, I thought I could understand all of those. I thought I was an understanding person, and I thought I had great imagination. But yes, I did. But it was in a world that is physical, and as we were going on in the course, I could understand that there was something else that was beyond this physical world, and that was the point where I could really go and solve things that were blocking me. So to be more precise, I had an issue uh, from the past, and I wanted to resolve it with a member of my family. As everyone knows here, if you had everyone who was with us from the beginning,
Right.
and unfortunately, because the coronavirus thing, I cannot travel. So obviously, it is not possible to meet this person where they are. Though I am so willing to go in real and do this in real, but I feel better because I learned that I could, at least in a metaphysical world, in another dimension, meet this person, say what I wanted to say, feel a bit of relief, and be proud of myself. And this feeling of doing this made it easier for me to sleep, made it easier for me to get this burden out of my shoulder. And I am sure that when it is possible, I can and I am willing again to go and speak with this person in real. Thank you for this course because it helped me get this out of my. I feel lighter. I feel lighter. Thank you.
Wow. So thank you for mentioning the non-physical awareness that you began to perceive and become, be able to use. Because as has come up a few times, we know that there are different dimensions of awareness that we can be in. And the most obvious one is what we call the third dimension, where there is time and space and polarity, opposites. And, you know, our time on Earth is a time of learning how we deal with space, for instance, how we deal with motion as a physical being. And it's fascinating. And for those of us that were talented in those areas, it's very satisfying. For those of us who weren't talented in those areas, it's been a source of constant frustration. But also part of the physical reality is time, which doesn't exist as a universal characteristic. It only exists in this dimension of awareness, in this three-dimensional awareness. So all the things we know about opposites, for instance, that there's good and bad, there's tall and short, there's new and old, there's all of those characteristics that we struggle with in this physical life. Physical age, for instance, is only an experience in this third dimensional awareness. Once we're in a dimension where time doesn't exist, age goes away. Is that amazing or what? So, you know, being aware, and we learn this in our lives by experience. It's, I mean, I can tell you about it and it sounds interesting, and it also sounds kind of airy-fairy because it's not physical, it's not in the physical dimension. But when you get rid of physicality, when you get rid of opposite poles, when you get rid of time and space, those are not actually real. And we can become aware of what goes on in a higher level, in a higher dimension. So there are even cultures on Earth that live in the fourth dimension, where people are not aware of time. It's not a problem. It doesn't matter how old you are. You know, it doesn't matter if you are on time. It doesn't, there's no such thing as late. One of my big struggles in this dimension is always being late. I finally decided my life motto was better late than never. But, you know, to realize that, you know, that's not the only dimension, and that we don't have to only work in that dimension. We can get out of awareness of, well, I am arguing with you. I don't agree with you. Because the way we don't agree is in our logical brain, which is physical. And when we move to a higher level of awareness, it doesn't include those physical aspects, then what we become aware of is, wow, I am one with everything. I share the same desires and the same feelings with the universe, with every being of every species, of every kind that there is, with the earth. That's another view, another perspective on who am I? And in that perspective, There's no such thing as liking, not liking. There's no such thing as agreeing, disagreeing. We're part of something that is one. We're part of something. We're not separate. In the physical world, we all inhabit a body, and that makes us feel separate. But it's only a perception that's fostered by being in the physical realm. And being in the physical realm, there's nothing wrong with it. We came here because we wanted to be in the physical realm. We wanted this experience because in the physical realm, we can pile up objects and build things. We can appreciate beautiful tastes and smells and appreciate music and make them. You know, we can make something new happen in a physical dimension. It's kind of like being a kid and finding yourself in Legoland. I don't know if Duadi and Sabrina, and
Yes.
if you've experienced Legos, but there is in someplace in Europe, there's Legoland. There's also one in Florida, I think, where you can use endless numbers of Legos to make whatever you want.
I have played a lot with those when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And whenever I go to New York, I cannot hold myself from going to the biggest shop of Legos there. It's unbelievably beautiful.
Yes.
And yeah, and speaking about all what you were telling us, Rosemary, there is a video that I have shared with you, and I would like to share with people here today.
Okay.
And it's
Good.
something that speaks to
how long is it?
let me check this. Okay, I'm going to tell you. Uh, 3 minutes.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Poison the air, doesn't poison the land, doesn't poison the sea. One that has enough respect for each other and the planet we live on and all the other life.
What sort of alternative society and culture do you imagine?
One that doesn't make guns and bombs, one that's not at war with itself constantly, one that doesn't poison the air, doesn't poison the land, doesn't poison the sea. One that has enough respect for each other and the planet we live on and all the other life forms that share this planet that we live on. One that has enough respect for all of that to live in a way that's completely sustainable, that is beneficial to all of life, so that mankind becomes a symbiotic life form that's supporting the life of its host planet instead of being a parasitic life form that's devoiding its host planet of its ability to support life. At the moment, I'm sat on a train going to Auschwitz, and I know that there's gas ovens at the end of the line. And I can't think of anything that makes me happy on this journey. There's nothing to celebrate. There's nothing to rejoice about. What would make me happy is the idea of having a future. I'm watching it getting taken away more and more every single day.
The main way in which do you think people could bring about this change or start to bring about this change in their habits?
Just simple things like looking down, seeing a ball, looking up, seeing a bubble, and not seeing the artificial boundaries that man has put on this planet. That would be a good start. Because I'm not English. I speak a language called English, but that's it. I I speak a language. That language doesn't make me. I live on a ball in a bubble. I don't recognise nation state. I want to live in a world where everybody I see is a friend. So money has no value between friends. We help each other for the love of it. Nothing more, nothing less. I need to be looking after the whole planet, so I've got to find a way of making friends right around the whole planet. Not just on this little bit of it, because if this little bit changes and the rest of the planet carries on going to hell, then this little bit gets dragged along with it. So maybe it's changing the way that we perceive the world that we live in.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
Great
So
wisdom.
what got my idea yesterday when I watched the video was when he said, "I'd like to see on the ground and see well, I'd like to look up and see a bubble and look down and see the ground, and then there would be no boundaries between. I don't recognize states. I don't recognize boundaries, as if the world was one and everyone was friends." I like very much this idea of his.
Yep. And that's basically the
Totally
idea
agree.
behind Living Peace Now. That,
We are living all in the one world.
yeah, that when we become friends, no matter what language we speak, you know, that is bringing the world together. And we can't change anybody else. We can only change ourselves. So we're changing ourselves.
Yeah.
With that goal in mind.
Yeah. Everybody changes his time.
Yeah. And my background is I'm a psycholinguist, and I know the power of language to change our perception of the people who speak different languages. When we learn their language and we can communicate, we experience that, wow, okay, I may have 3 or 4 labels for this person, but they don't mean this person is basically different from me. You know, all of us want the same things. All of us want to make something of ourselves, to make a difference, to be appreciated. The Maslow hierarchy of human needs. That's true of everybody, and it's not only human needs. If you live with a being of another species, you know, if you have a pet and you get to know them, they have the same wants and needs as we do. They want to be seen. They want to be appreciated. They need to be safe. They need to have food and water and shelter. And they're all about love. And
the basic thing is love. Share love.
that's right, exactly. And that means caring about another person or another being. And the earth, the planet, is not just a rock. The planet is a living being of which we're all a part.
We have to care about some spiritual things, for example, or the basic is, for example, spiritual. We help each other. We are not only in the field, we not see that the words like for physical things.
Right.
The most important things is the immaterial things.
Right.
Relationship, respect, love, help each
Exactly.
other, make others happy, pleasure, enjoy the life.
Right.
Yeah. Really.
And that's really what we're here for. All these other things are distractions.
Yeah.
You know, the idea of me having more than you, and therefore somehow being better than you, whoever I am, whoever you are.
Yeah, we work to help to make the people, everyone. For example, we help each one. For example, you help me to be the best of me, and I help others to be the best of themselves. That's what's
That's right. Exactly.
in life. For example, yeah,
Right.
yeah,
I've learned over a fairly long lifetime that talking about this stuff and working with this stuff and using it and creating the life we want means we become more aware and therefore more able to use it
yeah,
and to become our best
yeah.
selves and to be happy with it. So,
Yes.
I mean, I think that guy may have been homeless. You could see in his eyes right away that he lives in a deep sense of joy.
Yes.
And
Rosemary,
yeah,
I read something this week that I thought was profound. It was on Facebook, which you don't often find profound things on, but
hey,
it said that,
wherever.
right, communication is nothing without comprehension. So
That's
you can talk at a person and they can understand the words you're saying, but if they don't comprehend the feelings behind the words, they've not understood you, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So if you haven't understood the feelings, you haven't understood the communication.
Right. And the more aware of this need to understand people's feelings and to find my oneness with others, the more I experience that, and the more I target it and work on it and study to build my ability to do that, the more I find that that connection with others, even with the trees, going out in the woods and just being out there, there's connection. And that is deeply joyful. That is really wonderful. So the more we are able to give ourselves that experience by learning more and more about, how to get out of ourselves and become aware of other people and other beings of all kinds. The deep joy that brings is awesome. It's just wonderful.
I have a friend who has gone on a spiritual journey for the past, and I haven't seen her in about 15 years. And we're planning to get together next week,
Cool.
which is really exciting, to talk about her journey and my journey, which is kind of paused, but continued. And I think you may know her. Her name is Pat Venema.
Oh, yes. Right.
Yes.
Yeah, she has made quite a journey.
Yes. So I'm really looking forward to getting back to knowing her.
Cool.
I knew her when our children were young.
Aha. And now she's deep into being a grandmother.
Yes. And I know her grandchildren. So,
Right.
so it's just her that I lost touch with. I kept in touch with her daughter, Monica, and Tim, her husband, who were best friends of my daughter, Kimberly. So I'm so excited to find out where her spiritual journey has gone. So
I think you will love getting back in touch with her. Yes.
yeah.
Yes. So Karen, we haven't heard from you yet.
Yeah, Karen.
Well, what was I going to say now? One thing I would truly, deeply like to share is that one of the things that has inspired me in the last 3 months has been to meet people, particularly young people, who have peaceful motives and peaceful feelings in their heart and think so much about others and talk about others. That has been just very inspiring because, you know, I've met people from all over the world and I hear the same message from these younger people and almost makes me cry. I mean, it's just beautiful. So I wanted to say that. I was familiar with the 12 powers before coming to this class, but, you know, I think pretty much they were words on paper in a lot of ways, and that I really wasn't taking what I could from them to heart. And in the last 3 months, I've become more aware of them and just giving myself permission to identify ways where I could use the powers. First, I'd have to identify what power could I use here. You know, it's taken some practice and I'm still doing it. I'm a prayer partner, and what has been deeply moving for me has been the way the 12 powers can be used with prayer with another person. It's just, it makes the prayer just come so much easier, and really makes the communication stronger with the other person.
So could you give us, first of all, tell everybody what it means to be a prayer partner.
Okay.
And then give us an example without, of course, naming any names or, you know, just using the general situation, so that we get a clearer, we get the story idea.
Okay. A prayer partner is a person who prays with different people, you know, when they request it. And in our particular church, we have people who we pray with the same people every month. And I've noticed a difference in the past while of by using the powers. I give myself a chance to meditate on whatever I think what power can be used. For example, let's see if I can think of a good one. There was a person who needed healing and did not think that healing could come about because of what doctors
In other words,
said. Yes.
Okay, so they had an illness and didn't believe that they could heal from it because of the medical prognosis.
Could be healed. And so I thought of the power of faith. I thought of the power of strength. And I believe it was those powers I meditated on beforehand. And then with that person, you know, and another thing is the negative self-talk that can occur of not being able to heal. And so I had heard that, you know, to begin with on the physical level. On the metaphysical level, the body is perfect and is perfectly healed and perfectly whole, and there is no sickness, and health is there on the metaphysical level. And that's what, you know, where I pray from with a person is from that level of feeling and seeing without doubt that the body itself outside the physical is whole. You know, that's the perfect place for the body, is in wholeness and is in perfect health. It's kind of hard for me to explain.
Well, it is hard to explain because you're talking about a situation that only exists in the physical level. And even, you know, while in time, we're experiencing that illness or that dysfunction, that physical dysfunction, when you're outside of the physical dimension, there's no physical for it to manifest in. And so it doesn't exist except as an idea. And there's no reason for that idea outside of the physical.
Well, I
So
believe
yeah, it's
kind
hard
of
to
like,
talk about.
yeah, accepting.
Words are physical.
Say that again.
I said words are physical.
Right. It's kind of like you can choose hope over doubt. You know, that's a choice to choose one of the two. You can choose hope or you can choose doubt.
Right.
And this is
And
not.
that is in the physical where we make choices.
Yes, yes. And I wanted to mention that because that has been powerful for me. What I actually did in terms of the project was to write down the two powers that I thought I had used the most. But it has been very important in my prayer practice to identify what powers I can utilize, what powers I can utilize in meditation or in praying with that person.
I can see that. Yeah, that's a very good way of using your awareness of the powers to help other people by suggesting to them that they can adopt that idea as part of their way of being.
Yeah, it's a little hard for me to talk about. In terms of the project, I used the powers of release. I cleaned out a lot of those negative thoughts in myself of I can't, and turned it into yes, I can. I mean, it's just a matter of choice. And once you realize that and keep telling yourself that, that's all it is. It's a matter of choosing whether you can or whether you can't. So I replaced that with the power of faith. I have faith that I can. I know that I can. There are no doubts.
And also, so where did you come to? I understood that your original project, and one thing that is interesting is how what we think we're focusing on, what we think we're accomplishing, also kind of branches out and works in all the other areas of our lives, as you've just been describing. But you started out with the idea that you wanted to write a children's book.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about where you got with that.
Well, I decided I couldn't do that. I had taken too long in doing that task, and there was no reason really to do it again. And then I decided to do it as a project in this course. And what I ended up doing was kind of going around that project, and each time I approached it in a more positive fashion. I haven't completed it yet. Well, I have completed it, but I've edited. I still keep editing it, which is something I'm working on now.
So you actually wrote it?
I did, yeah.
Whoa!
I have.
Awesome.
I have it.
You're not blocked anymore. Whoa!
But there was the power of release and the power of imagination, which I am creative. I'm a creative person. I have a lot of imagination, but thinking, you know, I really didn't have time for that. I had other things I needed to do. And so I let it come into play, and I started feeling more the inner child inside of me. And I'm still working on that one, believe me, because it's letting that child come out to play. It can be difficult, thinking that you don't have time or you don't deserve to play. You got to work first. You got to work for it.
Talk about different dimensions.
Yes.
Because when you're a kid, you're all into whatever it is that you're playing at.
Yes, and I think I will always work with the 12 powers all the time. I mean, it's a 24/7 kind of thing, looking for opportunities to identify what powers inside myself that I can use and how I'm going to use them and how I'm going to use them for the good of myself and others. I wrote down a couple of things I liked. And one had to do with meditation and prayer, where softening yourself into meditation in each moment and embracing that is important. And favor hope over doubt. And wear rose-colored glasses when you're actively conscious, not when you're passive. You know, you can't stay. But you can wear those rose-colored glasses when you want to complete something, and you can look for the positive in that completion. And that depends on whether you're motivated to do it or not, which is one of the things I've been questioning. You know, just how powerful is my motivation in completing this? And a lot has come into play as part of that. And the big part was releasing a lot of those thoughts that got in the way. I think Lisa said blockages that she had. I didn't think I had any more blockages, but I certainly do. I mean, I think it's, you know, I thought at a certain point those had, you know, all diminished, but they don't. It's a way to, you find them every day, no matter how old you are, I think, or how long you've lived, or how many experiences you've had in life. But, anyway.
Yep.
I should have just read what I wrote.
So how are you different now than you were 3 months ago?
How am I different? I think that I have adopted the mantra that I have here in front of me. And it's, if you want something you've never had, do something you've never done. I am no longer afraid or think I don't have time or I need to do something else first to go for that. That is my motivation right there. If awesome. I want to do it, whether I've done it or not, I just do it. Either do not. There is no try, said Yoda. I mean, you know.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, when we really want something, that's important. It's important to us and it's important to everybody around us.
Yes. And part of my, yes.
And just going ahead and doing it makes a difference in everything, changes everything.
You're right. You're right. And part of mine was just not thinking that I could, or, you know, if I hadn't already, why should I do it now? I mean, just all kinds of talk that you know, I look back at it and I think, why were you telling yourself that? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. I mean,
well, that's the realization. That's the real nucleus of the importance of our beliefs in what we are, how we are able to be in the flow. Because every time we say something negative to ourselves, we're pulling ourselves back. And oh boy, we can use a lifetime of excuses to keep ourselves from doing what we really want to do. Boy, are we weird.
Yeah.
When you think about it. Geez.
Yeah, we're very good at putting stumbling blocks in front of ourselves on purpose.
Yeah.
And we don't even realize it's on purpose until we step back and look at it.
Right.
Because, I don't know, to update you on my neurotheology quest,
Yeah.
I have found out in the US, there are 3 programs that are interesting to me. One is at the University of Florida at their Center for Spirituality and Health. One is at St. Leo's University, where they have a double master's in theology and psychology. And the other, completely different, is at Naropa University in California, which is a Buddhist university, in meditation in the brain. So that would just be totally, totally out of my experience. But that doesn't mean I didn't put it on my list to investigate.
Good.
Which I probably would never have put it on my list before now. So I'm opening up. The others are in the UK, and I've already contacted the University of Edinburgh about their program in theology and science. And Bishop Grotesta in Lincoln, England, has religious studies in science. And those 2 would double my desire. I mean, would cover 2 of the things that I want to do. One is travel, and the other is study, so that eventually I can write and talk more fluently about neurotheology. So it's very exciting.
Wow. Yes.
Hi, Anne-Marie.
Life-changing. Yeah. Hi, Anne-Marie. It's good to see you. We've been talking about each of us. Wait a minute. You're talking and I can't hear you. Oh, you're muted. Unmute yourself. There you go.
I was trying to get in and was unable, but now it's okay.
Yay.
Oh, good.
I'm late now.
I'm glad you're here.
Yes, you were talking about.
Well, remember what last week I said today we were going to talk about how each of us has changed and how we're different than we were 3 months ago, because we were working with the 12 powers and working to make something new happen in our lives.
Okay.
So would you be willing to just step right in and share
I
with
really
us?
just came in. I'm listening now.
Yes, right. You don't have to, but I can tell you that I know that your story will be amazing.
There is a lot of change in my life right now. But I now just came in. I think I need some time.
Okay, fine. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, and I wanted to talk more about the last 2 powers that we didn't really talk about a whole lot, but that are crucial for, really keeping the changes that we've created in our lives. And those 2 powers together are life and dominion. Okay, put the picture away someplace else. So the power of life, it's about our vitality, our degree of energy, our presence. Ideally, from our higher self, we use life to energize and become our best self. So that's really what we're about during the allotment of time that we have on this earth, in this body, is what's my best self, discovering what that means and energizing it, really becoming excited, becoming energized, having a lot of energy around, making a difference in the world, making a positive contribution, because that's what energizes us. And the further away we get from that, we get bogged down. We get tired. And like the other powers, I find that I need to be aware of vitality, and I need to take care in the physical to keep it going. I need to pay attention to what I'm eating and how I'm sleeping, and am I in good shape, all that stuff, which is physical. But we need our body to express vitality in this life. And there isn't any, because time doesn't exist, there isn't any real correlation in truth between how old we are and how much vitality we have. We all have known people who have been in years, really amazingly old and amazingly vital and energetic and involved and just amazing presences, right? Lisa's nodding her head.
Yeah. Yes, I had a friend who was very old, very active, and then got COVID, and just went downhill very, very quickly because of that. But her mind, even though her body was failing, was amazing. So she left behind a whole lot of wisdom for the people who were visiting with her, and also
Yes.
and it was all visitation like we're talking. It wasn't face to face, but
right.
She was amazing, and she still influences my life every day. So
my grandmother still influences my life every day, and she died when I was 19.
Yeah.
But she was a model for me of vitality and, of really living. And yeah, I think everybody somewhere along the line meets people who are really gifted in the vitality department. But everybody also experiences detours and turnoffs and disasters. And what's beautiful and amazing is the way we recover from those kinds of events. Because when we come back, we've learned more than we knew before. If somebody has an underdeveloped life energy, they don't do very much because they have no energy. We all know people like that too. Overdeveloped, that's hyperactive, and chaotic, disturbing. And so, as with the other powers, it is important as we cultivate our power of vitality, of life, that we keep it balanced. And, we have discipline. Discipline's really crucial. And sometimes in the physical, we need to look at, okay, so how much life energy do I really have? That's been a challenge for me all my life. I always want to be doing more than I probably could. And that has led me sometimes to illness You know, if I have not kept my life energy balanced, if I haven't rested, if I haven't eaten right, hey, sooner or later, my physical self is going to go down. And I've done that a few times too in my life, and had to allow myself to rest and recover. And that's hard. So I've learned over time that, hey, I don't want to go there. I really want to be realistic so that I have the energy to do the things that are most important to me. So I've learned how to maintain balance by release. And the other partner balance to vitality, to life, is dominion. And this is more in the realm of ideas and awareness. To know beyond a doubt that everything is possible. No matter what we feel inspired to do, that is possible. The term life means potential. And when we don't have any more life, we don't have any more potential. But dominion is the awareness that, okay, the flow is there. We can be in it. There are no hard and fast limitations. Even if we don't have anything in physical terms, there are no limitations. Our only obstacle are our thoughts. And one of the thoughts that's a serious obstacle for most of us along the way is our desire to be separate and to do everything ourselves. That is a big obstacle to accomplishing what we need. Because if we want, and I've run up against this one all my life too, if we want to create something that has power to last, to make a difference, we have to do it with other people. Otherwise, when our own vitality diminishes, when our own circumstances in the physical change, whatever it was we were trying to do and maybe even succeeding at on our own, we can't do it anymore, and it stops. Does that resonate with anybody? Maya, hi.
Can I say something?
Yes, please. Tell me your name again, please.
I am Muhammad.
Mohammed, okay. This
Yes.
time I understood. Okay, thank you.
I am new here. I don't know the rule of this meeting.
Okay.
But I am not, I couldn't speak English well, but I understand many things from you.
Yes.
This day, how to change ourselves or our society, I think.
Yes, I agree.
Huh?
That's what we're talking about, is
Yes.
how can we change ourselves?
I understand the meditation.
Right.
We are a human being. We have one life.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Life.
yeah.
The word, the word life consists from four letters.
The word life, what? I didn't hear that. I didn't understand that last word.
Life, word life.
Work life,
Is
yeah.
only four letter.
Only
But
for
it is letter. But we can do billion and billion things to change our life.
Yeah, we can.
As a human being, we have to be aware.
Yep.
We have to inspire ourselves.
Yep.
We have to respect ourselves.
Yes.
We have to be kind with ourselves.
Yep. And with others.
After that, we have to change many things around us.
Yes.
Yes, we have energy inside ourselves.
But we have energy inside ourselves.
Inside ourselves
is the energy of one person.
Yes.
And
how to deal with others.
Yes. When we are communicating with others and sharing with others what we want,
to contact with others,
then more happens and it lasts better.
Yes. We should behave as a good people in our society.
Absolutely.
But I think if we say about change, maybe if you say about something is good, for me, maybe it is not good. I don't know how to deal with that. Yani corruption.
We can always
in my front of view, corruption. I think maybe somebody else do not understand that is corruption.
Well, and then you can't do anything about that. All you can do. Yes. We all have the power to change ourselves.
Yes.
And I agree. The other person has to deal with that.
I agree with you. I understand many things from you. I respect you, Rosemary.
Thank you. I respect you as well, Mohammed.
Yes. Thank you.
And thank you very much.
Sorry, I am sorry about my language.
Your English is fine. I am glad that you spoke up. We welcome you, and we welcome you.
I am a student.
Yes, and I hope that we will see you in other classes so that we can get to know each other and become friends and colleagues and working together to
I hope to do that.
The world a better place. Okay, it is 1:30, which is our ending time. And I really appreciate everybody for being here and for participating in this discussion. And I really appreciate the people that have stuck with this over the 3 months. We will give you a certificate of completion for this program. And I think Sabrina is not here with us anymore. So, okay. Next month, in other words, next Friday, we will start the subject of prosperity. And you know what? It's a different perspective on the same basic principles and how we use them to change our lives. And, you know, so I invite you to be there next Friday and to start off with us and to stay with us and to really become different between now and June than you are now in a way that you really want to change. So, Wadi, it's been great having you on here.
Yeah, I'm very glad. I'm very glad. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. I'm so happy to attend, and I'm willing to attend more and more sessions with this.
Okay, so put this time aside in your calendar. It's pretty steady most times. And next week we'll be back. Anne-Marie will be very happy to know this. We'll be back in sync across Europe and the US and much of the rest of the world in terms of going, we'll all be on daylight savings time or whatever you call it, summertime.
Okay. So this means it will be 6 o'clock again.
It will be 6 o'clock again.
Yeah.
Yes.
This makes life easier.
I know, yeah, exactly. And you know, this is crazy that we don't all change at the same time. But that's what happens when countries or individuals think only of themselves.
That's
they
right.
screw up everything. So anyway, if Anne-Marie and Maya, if you want to stay on and chat, just, you know, as friends for a couple minutes afterwards, I'd be happy to do that.
Is this okay for you, Maya?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. So for everybody else, this is the end of the class. I'll see you next Friday as we begin talking about prosperity. Have a wonderful weekend and week.
You too.
Bye-bye. We're going to need to wait a couple of minutes until.
Oh, this is amazing. I actually, Rosemary, I got the link from Letizia.
Aha, okay, great.
Yeah, and I don't know very much. I just saw the link. It says, I obviously did not realize the timing was Eastern Daylight. So you started, what time did you start?
Well,
9 o'clock?
No. We started at 12.
Okay.
And the hours for this class, this metaphysical discussion, whatever we're talking about any given week, is 12 to 1:30.
Okay.
On the East Coast. So Eastern time, whatever Eastern time is. So Karen, Maya and Anne-Marie and I are going to have a little meeting.
Yeah, they'd be nice. Well, and I'm also just congratulating you. You're doing this in both languages, French and English?
Yep. Yes.
Fantastico.
Yeah, we didn't have anybody on today who only spoke English, did not speak English.
Yeah.
So, you know, and the people that have been on here, not all of them, but most of them have been interested in improving their English.
Yes.
But when we have somebody on who needs some help understanding, who isn't really fluent in understanding English, then we have somebody do a translation into French.
Yeah.
Somebody who's a part of the group that just, you know.
And Rosemary, the text that you have, you did you shared your screen with the text.
Yes, with a PowerPoint, yeah.
Right, that's in both languages, right?
Yeah, I do it in both languages because that helps the people that that have a better understanding of French than they do English also. But it also helps people who want to learn French.
Right. I saw that you're having classes in French.
Yes. Yeah. And we're working the French, the beginning French class. The guy who's teaching it is really a lovely guy. He's young, and he has been in, I think he's in Senegal all his life. So he hasn't yet encountered standard French.
Right.
And he hasn't been trained as a teacher. So we are working to, and I think we have found somebody who is a teacher who can take over that class and be the person in charge. And because those faults in terms of teaching that Abu has show up. So we're still working on making the French class really high quality.
Wonderful.
But we're getting there.
So I can put that into my calendar that I just drop in on Friday at 12.
That's right. And
Eastern.
Okay, so you're going to join us at the beginning of a new class, and I'm going to be teaching the SEE class on prosperity.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you have anybody in Montreal who would be interested in taking that class, I can offer it for credit, for Unity credit.
Good.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Thank you, Rosemary.
Yeah. Cool.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Sabri.
Yeah, sorry for coming late because I was busy.
Well, I'm afraid you're so late that the class is actually over, and we're just having a little chat after it. So,
okay, inshallah.
Yeah, so next Friday, come on time. Next Friday will be on Central European time, 6 hours behind.
Okay.
So we've had some time issues the last couple of weeks because the US changed to daylight savings 2 weeks before the rest of the world did.
Yeah.
They weren't thinking of others. Oh well.
Can I?
Bye.
Bye.
I find this lecture
Next week at 12 Eastern time. Okay.
Okay, but I'm asking how to find this class. Is it possible?
You go on.
I can get it on the page on LB Now page.
Yeah, yeah. Abu is doing a really good job of sending the link on the lists, and also if you go on the calendar on Living Peace Now website, it's there with the link.
Yeah, that means I can watch repeated video for it.
Yes.
Or repeat class. Okay, I will see it. I will watch it. So.
Okay, great.
That's good.
Okay,
so
see you next week.
Okay, see you inshallah, and have a good night.
Yep, thank you. You too.
Okay, good.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good life. It's very nice.
I know, isn't it?
That's wonderful. Yeah. Annemarie, hallo, bist du noch?
Hallo.
Bist du noch da?
Ja, ich bin noch da.
Ja, das ist das erste Mal, dass du dabei bist.
Nein, ich bin schon mehrmals da gewesen. Aber das letzte Mal habe ich es verpasst, habe ich die Zeit falsch gehabt. Shall we continue in English so that Rosemary gets it too?
Yeah, that's
appreciate that. Or we can continue in French if Maya wants to.
Does Rosemary know about La Pensée du Jour?
Yeah. Did you get the booklet, Rosemary?
I haven't gotten it yet, but you know, postage here is slow. So
we sent it. It's about now. We sent it last Monday. On Monday a week.
Okay.
It will take time.
It'll come in by the end of next week, I hope.
You mean three weeks?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but that's the U.S.
You are worse than Bernice.
Yeah, the U.S. Postal Service is gone to hell. I mean, it really has deteriorated this year.
So you are worse than the Bernese, because usually Bernese people are late.
Yeah, they are considered slow.
Well, there isn't anything we can do about it. You know, it is what it is.
Do you know why we are slow?
No.
I know why
There
we're slow.
There is a big reason why we are slow, the Bernese, so that the other ones can follow.
A good joke.
It's a good joke, yeah. But I show it now to, can you see it?
Yes, yes.
For,
I'm looking
because
forward
Maya
to it.
didn't see it. This is how it looks like.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Really beautiful, yes.
You know what we're doing in Quebec?
What are you doing?
We are collecting all the old lists of the French people who were getting La Parole Quotidienne, and also people who were calling for prayers. We have endless lists, and I just don't know what would be the next step. Is to send it to you, Anna-Marie, so that
I had now written to all those I had from Lausanne.
Yeah.
I sent them the booklet. So some names were older, were from 1516, 2015-16, and because we were not allowed from Lois to send La Parole to them.
Right.
So now, as we have a complete different booklet, we have I have written it to them, and there are 4 who made a subscription.
Fantastic. Now, Anna-Marie, I have lists that go all the way Paris, all of France.
This would be great to have all of France.
You want them? You want those lists?
Yeah. Why not? Because if it is like this, I could reprint April and send it to them, because France is fast.
Yeah. And I have very regular calls from the Republic of Congo. And
yes.
But you see, there are 2 topics. One is the prayer line, the calls for prayers, and the other one is the daily la pensée du jour. But you want to do that on a subscription base, and we're having a problem with that. Could initially be La Pensée du jour to the people in Quebec. Initially, could it be on the basis of donation?
Yeah, of course we can do this. Also with the people in Congo, sometimes they don't have money, you know.
Right.
The thing is, we must make sure that we can cover the costs, you know.
Yeah. No, I realized that I was just having, there's a lot of excitement in Montreal around this bilingual development. But when we heard that you were selling subscriptions, we were getting anxious, because we cannot, according to our law, we cannot sell anything. No subscription, no books. Everything has to be on the basis of donations.
Yeah,
That's
we have fixed the
profit. Yeah.
We have actually calculated, and the price is 50 Swiss francs a year.
How much?
50.
That's not bad.
No, it's less than 5 Swiss francs for the booklet.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, then with this amount we are just coming out. We can cover all the costs. There is no benefit. We can just cover up.
Now I have people in my group who right now are donating what we call, scholarship for an SE week. Some people cannot afford $100 American. So I got two people who are willing to cover the expense for the others.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, that's
really
great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now we are also having some, they cannot afford it. So then we don't charge.
Yeah.
So or maybe we ask them to give just a symbolic.
Yeah.
symbolic prize.
Right.
So this month, the month of April, we sent it free of cost.
Okay.
We did not charge, so that they can see if they like it or not.
Oh, wonderful.
So there were 2 persons. There is one, she doesn't take it because we have no biblical.
Oh, well.
We hebben geen bibelsprüche drin, Maya.
Quotes. Oh dear, oh dear.
And but that's okay. And all the others, there was one gentleman, he called me up and he congratulated and said, can you send me 5?
There you go. Well, you know, Anna-Marie, you said something to me and it stayed with me, that you were writing these daily thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
You were making sure that young people would,
that's right,
be sympathetic to the words and not feel, you know, strangely turned off by some old-fashioned conversation. You know, you were keeping in mind that you wanted the young people to be able to enjoy it.
Yes.
And this is also one of the reasons, if you look at the page, you see it's very light.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah. Yes, I can.
Just small sentences, because young people, they do not read long sentences.
Right.
And then there is always, it starts, the 1st of April starts with bonjour.
Yeah.
Bonjour, le bon du jour. And then I play with this.
Yes, yes, yes. Good, good.
And the second one is Vendredi Saint. Okay, this one I took it as the crossroads.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, sometimes we were torn here and there. That's where, and then I always have at the end, Je bénis cette journée magnifique. C'est après la fin de la page, au lieu of the biblical sentence. Yeah. Yeah. And this is how it is. Really, and I was working one of the days, I was working with Rosemary about the 12 powers, and they are in the month of May.
Right.
Just introducing, and then we can build up on that one as well.
That's very good. Rosemary, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Recipe book for daily life.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Rosemary, I thought you were going to do the 12 powers, but I guess I came in late.
We just finished the 12 powers.
Yeah, I also came late. Actually, Rosemary, you know what I made wrong?
What?
I was late in Bern. And then I was coming in. I came in and then I took your private Zoom. And then, so when you read it, you will see that I ask, is it not taking place? Then I was driving home, and while driving home, I thought, there is something wrong.
Yeah, no, it was taking place. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It is okay. I'm happy to see both of you. And what I could do, but I don't have it nicely in a Word document, you know, this pensée du jour, because everything went so fast, I had to hurry up. So yesterday night, I sent the booklet for May, I sent it to the printer.
Good, good.
Cool.
Now you tell me how many booklets you would like to have. And then I'm going to reprint the April. But
no, Anne-Marie, hold up. We are just collecting the lists. We don't, they're coming from all directions, from the previous secretary, from the previous person who was on the board, who was bilingual. So don't do anything yet.
Okay. So I wait.
Wait. That's right.
Okay. Now I just hope that you get the sample I sent you. I sent both of you. I sent
sample. Right.
Rosemary, did you record the 12 powers that you?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, they're all posted on Living Peace Now. What I'm going to do next with it is
classes was it? How many classes?
Oh boy, we've been doing it once a week for 3 months.
Okay. Oh, that's okay. Okay.
So approximately 12 to 14 classes.
It's very interesting. We are listening in Montreal to Marvin Anderson's 12 Powers. We have a recording of his.
Cool.
He was our minister. And then we hear that Hasselbeck is also doing the 12 Powers.
You know, I have taken the 12 Powers a bunch of times from different people, and you learn something different each time.
A different lens, right? A different.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'd like to hear your. So, how do I have access to go to you?
Okay, so you need to register on Living Peace Now.
Yeah.
And then go back to January.
Okay.
In the calendar. And there will be, what we've got are like forums. They're like silos where all the classes by a particular teacher are stored when they're recorded.
Okay.
So find the 12 Powers and start with the first one, which will be early in January. And you can, you know, it's all there.
Just for myself.
Yeah.
So I need to go. I need to go. Anna-Marie, bisous.
Yes, I just have one question, Maya.
Yeah.
You told me that you have a meeting with Peter.
Yes. On Zoom. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How was it?
Very, very good, because I made it very clear that I would not participate in anything that was leading us back to headquarters and the bureaucrat. Weißt du, das ganze bürokratische. I said this is a new idea for a new time.
Yeah, we have to change.
Yes, yes.
And I don't want to have, because Lois contacted Peter.
Yeah, I know. And then Peter contacted me, and I told him, now I have written a booklet, and I'm not going to take the other one in, you know.
So anyway,
because Peter told me at that time we got for the license, it was so expensive, you know. And by that time, there were already many of the subscribers from before. They already were gone. It was the same here in Switzerland. Before, there were quite a lot of people, and then they were gone. And then it would have been too costly. And it seems now they are offering it to Peter to a better price. I don't know.
No. He said he has no means. No, he's not interested.
Okay.
To be in the French publishing or translation of anything. He's made it very clear to me. He's not working on the French side.
Because he asked me if I would do the translation, then I said, no, I'm not going to do it, because I would do some work which is not with my heart, you know.
Right.
So we have now, Anna-Marie and Rosemary, we have to really stay clear. This is a new time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Believe me, I am clear about that.
It has been so incredibly difficult for us in Quebec with the French work that I don't want to step back into the old river. I really want to do it. And yes, she is, of course, now, you know, when she hears that we are going to use the La Pensée du Jour and we are going to have a bilingual prayer line, you know, I'm an old minister in good standing, the ministry is in good standing, and we are not compromising. We are not compromising at all with bureaucracy and the old way of thinking. And I have, even 6 months ago, I offered Lois that there would be a way for Unity Bern to do this French work, and she didn't even answer my email. She didn't.
Yeah, it was the same for me.
Yeah.
Now, what I could do, I could send you, I try to contact the printer. I asked him to send me a PDF file of the booklet.
Yeah.
And then you can have a look how it is.
Okay, good idea.
Huh? Because I don't know when it will reach if the postmen are so lazy in.
No, we are going, Anna-Marie, we are going through a much more difficult lockdown.
Yeah. So I think then it is good if I send it to you by mail, you know.
Yeah.
And then we try to do something like that.
But let me tell you, let's not be impatient.
Right. No. But you know, it's already ready the first month. Then you can have a look how it is.
Right.
I think it is important that you see how it is built up.
Yeah. I have 3 people on my new team of Bilingual Unity Montreal, and it's
all right.
One of them I asked is Letitia if she would join, and then another one is the former secretary, Sandra, and then there is Nicole, who's an ordained minister, and they are willing, and we are seeding.
Yeah, it is a new time, and especially with COVID, we all have to think everything over. And especially right now, you cannot do anything which is not conform with your heart.
That's right. I say the very same thing. I say, do only what brings you smiles, what makes you smile, what brings your heart joy. If you're just having to do it because somebody else had done it, forget about it. This is not the time. Now is the time to do the work, the spiritual work, and it needs, I always think that when spirit is involved, it makes me smile. I get a smile.
That's true.
Absolutely.
Headache is not, actually, if you look at the thing of unity, the word unity is not headache. It is.
Yeah, right.
So you see, I have also changed the logo. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's your Swiss logo.
That's the Swiss logo. It's really Unity Schweiz logo.
Yes.
And it is the earth, which is held by 5 people underneath. You can see them, the 5 continents.
Yes.
And if they are nicely holding it, the peace pigeon can fly.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a symbol. And it is in a square, so that it is not moving around in a, how you say it?
In
so
space.
that it's calm.
Calm, yeah.
Right.
That is the symbol of Unity Schweiz.
Lovely. You having an incredible, powerful new idea, Anna-Marie. You have my full attention and you have my full support, and it's already generating. But at the moment, just so that you understand, we are just gathering.
Yeah, but I sent it to you, so never mind. I will also send you the month of May once it is ready. Then you know what it is, you know, that you can follow up, and then you see which way we are going.
That's right. Okay.
I think this is the easiest way and also the fairest way.
Right. And what we're doing on Living Peace Now is we've involved everybody who wants to share. It's like another class to reflect on different topics. So like this month, the topic has been beauty as an aspect of peace.
Yeah, that is beauty is peace.
Yeah, and it's getting better. It's really interesting as people, you know, participate and learn. They're really learning, and it's interesting to see how different people from different ages and different countries perceive, you know, what is important.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know that There was one thing we did not put on our booklet. It has no copyright.
Right. We have not copyrighted it.
And the reason why we have no copyright, I got the ideas from the cosmos, let's say it like that.
Right.
And I didn't get any copyright there either. I just got it free, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And the same with ours, it's not copyrighted.
And with the States, I wanted La Parole Quotidienne. I was putting it sometimes on Facebook, and they told me that I'm not allowed, that I could be fined, you know.
Yeah,
and this for me is not unity.
Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear.
So we're publishing it anyway in French as well as Spanish and English.
Yeah.
So, but it's in e-publication. So if you want to go check it out on the site, we're calling them booklets.
Yeah.
Search for booklet.
Okay. So maybe we can later on also put this one on, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
You have to really be aware that there's going to be some pushback. You know, when a new idea like this that's really dynamic,
right,
needs protection in the beginning, it can get stomped. And I see, you know, the questions that are coming up, you know, who gets the money and how is the money going to flow?
What money?
Yeah, that is the States, you know, that it's always money.
And so
you know,
yeah,
I'm quite stable, you know, they can come, I'm stable. I know now this is the right way and I'm proceeding it.
Yes, I feel the same way in Montreal.
Yeah.
There's very little they can do to me from Unity World Headquarters. I'm an independent, autonomous ministry, and I'm an old Unity minister in good standing. They cannot do anything. I basically.
That's right. Well,
and Switzerland is independent, you know. Switzerland is not connected to the States.
I know. I know you're independent even further.
Marie-Louise was doing a good thing by doing this like that.
Yeah.
It is not, we are not having, how you call it, silent unity.
Yeah.
We are not.
Mm-hmm.
We have the prayers, but we are not connected with the silent unity, but we are sending our files over there. And sometimes, because they are also doing good things, sometimes we spend them some money, you know.
Yeah.
But right now we use it for more for people who have no money.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
In Germany, that's one of the issues. You know, they have the publishing with Peter Doratio, and then they got this silent unity with Brigitte Jach, and they were appointed by Unity to be the silent unity in the German-speaking Rhine. Well, that's old. That's again of the old.
Yeah.
And I said to Peter, there are ministries who have their own silent unities. We're going to have a bilingual silent unity in Montreal, and I'm sorry, but that's how it is.
And it seems they have to pay. They have to pay quite a lot to the state, you know, being silent unity.
Yeah, but I mean,
and this was one of the reasons Marie-Louise didn't really trust and said, "I'm not going to enter silent unity."
Yeah.
So this is why she made a corporation. It's not it has nothing to do with unity in the States. Right. And what is quite interesting in Bern, there is also a unity group, but which is really like this.
Oh my God, yeah. There is fundamentalism in everything.
Completely, yeah.
Okay.
We have some of those in the US too. Fillmore didn't say it. It's not unity.
No, it's not. Mm-hmm.
Are we assuming that we are meeting, that this time, this Friday noon, is when you are on with your class and discussion, Rosemary?
Right. Well, actually, we have classes most days in the middle of the day, Eastern time. because that corresponds with right before dinner in Central Europe and right after dinner in the Middle East. And it's like bedtime in India, but we've got people in India that are tuning in. So, you know, it's a good universal time. And people from the Pacific Coast, it's breakfast.
What time do you have now, Maya?
It is now 11 o'clock in the morning.
Uh-huh.
But I was wrong. I thought that if I tune in 3 hours before Rosemary's class, but then when I tuned in at 10:30 my time, it was too late. She had already completed her class. So I have to think about being careful with the time difference.
So if we start at 12, you need to tune in at 9.
Well, I have a daily meditation at noon, Montreal time. That's 9 o'clock here.
That's 9 o'clock there. So it's the same time as my 12 o'clock class.
So, but that's only half an hour, so I can always join after.
Yeah, you can, right.
Okay,
So,
I need to go.
It was just fantastic to see both of you.
Yes.
Can you still stay in, Rosemary? Do you still have time or do you have to go?
Well, yeah, I can stay for a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
Blessings, blessings,
Bye.
blessings, blessings.
Thank you. It's great
Bye.
to see you, Maya.
Bisous.
And take good bisous, gros bisous.
Bisous are a thing of the past, unfortunately, with COVID.
Yeah. You know, I was using the wrong code to get in Bern. Yeah, because I was using your private one.
Oh, yeah. No, the classes
Because-
do not use my private code.
I was so in a hurry, you know, I was working up to 5 and then I just, Rosemary, it didn't start. And I thought, okay, let's go home. Maybe I'm too early.
I wasn't on there.
Yeah, so next time it will be 6 p.m. my time.
Right. And you'll have more time to be.
Yeah, I'm happy because I'm getting new stuff, you know.
Oh, good. Because I knew you had problems with the old stuff.
I'm happy.
Good.
I'm very happy.
Awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And how is life with you?
Oh, things are going well.
Very good.
I'm really doing this Living Peace Now and teaching unity principles and not calling them unity, just teaching them as metaphysics. It's really been exciting to see all these people from, you know, they're Hindus and they're Buddhists and they're Muslims and I don't know what all they are, but they love the unity principles.
But you know,
if I call them unity principles,
it is what Fillmore wanted.
Yeah, exactly. But if I call them
he
unity,
didn't want it to have a church.
Right. Right, exactly. If I said they belonged to unity, nobody would listen.
Mm-hmm. There was a time I wanted to change Unity Schweiz, you know, because if they go and dig in, you know, what is unity, they always come to this church stuff in the States.
Yeah, I know. And the whole millennial generation is totally beyond church. You know, it's not in a church paradigm.
No, we don't need a place, actually.
No, exactly.
It is more the church of love, which is anywhere.
Exactly, precisely. So, you know, it's been very affirming, but it's also amazing to watch people, you know, learn the idea and go out and do it and have amazing things happen.
Yeah.
You know, it's really exciting.
Yeah.
And it is also really exciting to see how, you know, people really do respect each other across languages.
Yeah.
And
And I think that is where it is. We have mutual acceptance.
exactly.
You know? And the more I'm digging into that subject, I mean, this is love.
Yeah.
This is love and peace, nothing
It
else.
is. Exactly. That's what it
Yeah.
is. And it is really, it's inspiring me to see that people are willing to just, you know, accept others. And except that every once in a while there's a guy on a class who starts feeding me you know, arguments about Jesus and about the Messiah. You know, and I have to say, hey, that's not what we're talking about today.
Yeah. Yeah, you can, it is very easy. You can say we are interreligious and our God has no name.
Right. Exactly. It's like,
He
okay.
is.
Yeah.
He is everywhere.
Right.
You know, my son, when he was about kindergarten time, he came to me and he asked me, what is God? And then I said, God is everything. And he took this and left.
Yeah, right.
And then he made a design for me. I had a tree, I had a cat, I had people, I had everything on this design. I still have it, you know.
Yeah.
And with a needle all around, he was drawing. And then he wrote, this is God.
Wow.
So if you wanted to see God, you had to shift it a little bit to see what you could not see normally. And then I thought, yeah, he understood what is God.
He certainly did. Wow.
Yeah, it is this all pervade going through everything.
Yeah.
This energy, yeah.
Exactly.
So it was doing me good to talk to you.
Yeah, it's fun. I love that you're, you know, there, that you're a part of us.
Yeah, I love it too. And it will be Monday, I can send it to you because they have closed tomorrow.
Yes.
And I'll ask them to send it to me as a PDF. Like this, it's not going to be torn in all directions. And then I send it to you and Maya.
Okay, great.
Okay, fine.
Yes, thank you so much.
Have a nice time and thanks for your time.
Yes, well, hey, this was fun. Thank
Yes,
you
it was.
very much.
Thank you. And take care.
Yep, you too.
Miss, thank you. Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Let's see, I need to get back on so I can get off.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.